Salutations, my friends. 'Tis I, once more, to bring you yet another piece of news. Just recently, FGO has posted a maintenance notice for the S.E.R.A.P.H main interlude. And you know what that means. Apollo gems. Some more quartz for the quartz throne. And on top of these incredibly shiny rocks, we will be getting what essentially boils down to S.E.R.A.P.H's third run. However, this run has a very special set of bonus rules to it. 1. It's a permanent edition. Once the event is over, the main interlude will be added to the Rare Prism shop just like Christmas 3 was. 2. New strengthening quest for King Protea, Meltrilus, and everyone's favorite JK Fox, Suzuka Gozen. 3. No farming. It is a very simplified version of the event with only the bare bones surviving the purge of everything. The shop has been reduced to be bare bones. No materials are in the shop, just essential story materials. And the only non-main quests left are the Wanted, Detour, and Memorial quests. This makes... And lastly, 4. A final free shot at 4-star BB. This is your last chance to get 4-star BB for free if you missed the previous 2 runs. So get to it and don't slack on this event. Now, let's talk about everyone's... Let us go ahead and continue on the spiel about... Now let us continue on about the spiel about our favorite devilish kouhai, Big Bob. Bonebreaker has the unique attribute of being one of only 4 moon cancers in the entire game. 2 of which are her and her summer version. She's an incredibly strong arts stall servant and just okay arts DPS. The reason I say she is a good stalled servant versus a good DPS is her kit. Long story short, between a combination of stuns, targeting cleanses and immunities, a heal, and a 20% party-wide NP gauge refund, she absolutely facilitates the infamous tank and spank game plan. Or you just spam her Noble Phantasm and your support's Noble Phantasms to make sure you stay alive while slowly draining the enemy out of their hit points. The only reason I stated she's at best an okay DPS is her class and her stats. As a Mooncaster, she only gains class advantage against Avengers, a very rare matchup in most nodes. So for the most part, she's doing neutral damage, which is not fantastic, since she is a single target servant, and you would much rather bring somebody who already has class advantage to not only make your chances higher, to not only make your chances of survivability and of victory a lot higher, but also making sure you get the quest done in a timely manner, unless of course you enjoy stalling for no reason, like I did on year 1. Not to mention, her low attack stat means she is hitting like a piece of paper mache. Now, for the second part of this video, strengthenings. First of all is Melt, who will now become an amazing crit servant. She will now, on her attack buff, gain a special bonus where every time she uses a normal attack before the attack lands, she will gain a 15% critical strength up for 3 turns. So if the card crits, she will get that 15% buff. So now, all of her face cards have become Waver's first skill. Continuously for 3 turns, and if she's in a solo situation, she gets 4 pops per turn for 3 turns. That is a 165% crit buff on her last card, on the last chain of the 3rd turn. So now all enemies can do when they realize you have put Melt in your front line is scream in terror as she just melts right through the defenses. Next is Suzuka Gozen. She will get a strengthening to her Noble Phantasm, increasing her damage and giving her a very nice Noble Phantasm generation buff on top of her critical buff on NP. So now, instead of only relying on crits to get her Noble Phantasm gauge refilled, she will also gain a Noble Phantasm gain bonus on top of that, making her arts and quick cards essential and very, very, very powerful cards, so that her buster cards are not the only ones hogging the spotlight. And last, but certainly not least, King Protea. Her buff is that alongside her stacks of HP buffs, she will now gain an additional stack of a buff previously locked to enemies, Noble Phantasm Resistance Up. These are also stacked each turn for 10 turns, adding up to a whopping 80%. This makes King Protea an insane tank, as not only can she hit hard with the bonus given to her Noble Phantasm with every stack of HP stack that she has, but now she will be able to tank with the best of them, as most Noble Phantasms, as between her being an alter ego servant and that 80% buff, this means that most enemy Noble Phantasms will feel like nothing but a breeze to King Protea. And that is all for today, and thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Adios.